I think the problem with a lot of people is not the phone itself, it's rather the compulsive and addictive behavior the phone causes on people, you know. Um, Look, I'm not going to campaign defend billion-dollar corporations right here, but I do find quite naive and a little bit ironic and stuff, right? How people sometimes will blame the algorithms and the platforms that they consume this, short form content and stuff, as the reason why they're so addictive to social media and stuff, right? And to that, I just see like everything's a choice. Like at the end of the day, that's how the market works. That's how the market works. That's how capitalism works. Like it's a product that they're selling to you. You choose to ignore it, or you choose to comply to it and just use the product that you just showed you. You know, and you just scrolling mindlessly on it. It's a choice that you do by yourself. You know, deliberately go into these platforms, click on it on your phone, and spend time on it. Right? It's a choice that you make by yourself. But anyways, man, I think we all know that phones nowadays they are the biggest technological advancement ever made. You know, without phones, people cannot work. In some cases, people cannot um, communicate with their own relatives. People cannot take pictures. Well, just a lot of day-to-day stuff that we need. Well, we have been doing in modern day society, right? And one thing that's not talked about is phone addiction, which this might sound a little bit exaggerated, but phone addiction is not that far off from alcohol addiction or drug addiction, because at the end of the day, they can still ruin your life. You know, well, addictions as a whole, they can ruin your life, but all those three, they can ruin your life just like directly. You know, like if you're addicted to drinking alcohol, they can cause you just I don't know, just drunk drive and kill somebody, or even kill yourself. You know, you can die by doing heavy drugs. You can ruin your life with phone addiction. You can spend uh, too much time in it to the point where you just feel like time just flies by this quick. And I don't know. It's just I don't want to put it in the same caliber, because I don't know. It sounds a little bit exaggerated, but they all can have the same destructive nature in a way, right? Bruce Lee once said that a successful person is just an average person but with a laser focus, you know. And that's one thing that I think phone addiction kind of causes people to lose, a laser focus, like something to strive towards, like a goal. And the moment that we lose that is the moment that kind of, your existence kind of has no purpose in a way. Like, why would you live when you don't really have any purpose or goal in life? It could be anything, by the way. I don't judge based on what your life goals are, but where's the point of existence when you don't really have one, or where's the point of living when you don't really have one? And that's one thing that friend kind of forces people to have, like, kind of a lack of goals, to the point where you start questioning whether your existence even matters at all. Well, like, what's the point of life? What's the point of spending time in a certain endeavor when I can just scroll on TikTok or Instagram for however long I want to, and just do nothing? Because hey, spending time in a business or do a certain project that might be meaningful for myself takes time and effort, and that's something I just don't want to do. That ruins the whole fun of what life is supposed to mean. Like, life is supposed to be about struggle, overcoming struggle, and finding the reward after that struggle. In a way, that's how I see it. And I can give you a personal story about this, right? Um, 2 summers ago, when I was about 16, 17, I think, I decided not to go with my parents and the rest of the family. Well, my parents and my two little, siblings and stuff, right? And I decided to go holidays with them, right? And I thought, hey, maybe it's a better idea to just stay at home because the place that we're going didn't have like good internet connection and stuff. I was like, hey, let us just stay at home, play games on my PC, watch TikTok and Reels and stuff, and just go to sleep, right? That would be my entire cycle for about 2 months straight, because that was like my summer holiday sort of stuff. I didn't hang out with my friends much, and I kid you not, bro, 2 weeks in, and I kind of regretted a little bit. I mean, I decided not to escape my comfort zone and just stay at home while my parents and my siblings are just having fun, well, let's experiencing something new somewhere else, Local, I'm going somewhere, this summer, but still, it's not pleasant to just see yourself, and consciously just be aware that you're just wasting your own potential by distraction that by a far you can actually control. You can overcome it, but you just decide not to. That's a weird realization. Like the just the idea of like constantly repeating the same self-destructing patterns that you do, and stuff, right? Anyways, it is, I think there's a solution to it, right? My personal solution has always been replacing what I call the destructive distractions with constructive distractions. Constructive distractions, at least for me, is anything that I deem to be meaningful for myself, whether it's programming or making these videos or I don't know, maybe journaling, right? And I just replace the destructive habits, or let's say destructive distractions, with the stuff that I deem to be meaningful for myself. So, for example, I program a lot. I do a lot of coding and programming because I want to become a software engineer in the future. I want to do programming once I get older. I want to maybe start a startup and stuff. I want to learn a lot of stuff related to programming. And most of the time I just don't use my phone because I'm busy doing that, or maybe I'm just journaling on my notebook, or maybe I'm just in the gym or walking around without really using my phone. That's like, I think, the solution that can work for everybody, because the whole concept of like, don't use your phone. Yeah, you're not using your phone, but what are you doing in exchange for that? Like, you have to do something that's worthwhile in order to not miss out, or let's say not miss on your phone and stuff, right? But yeah. Anyways, man, in a bit.